I am an explorer. Humans tend to explore. Someone will find a river and then paddle upstream on the river to see where the river goes. And then we'll turn around and paddle downstream to see where the river goes. I was disinterested in the river that can be referred to as religion and Christianity. But then I had a very peculiar bit of eloquent prose presented to me. The most amazing, dramatic story ever presented to the minds of the human family. The most dramatic story is this: the story of the pre-written life of Jesus of Nazareth, who is called the King of the Jews, the Messiah of the Jews, the Son of God. Nobody else in measurable, recorded, discernible human history, nobody else has 200 to 300 individual predictive points set in writings. Those points were sprinkled across 1,000 years and written by 30 people who did not know each other. And those predictive points fit his life perfectly in a very nice way, as it has been recorded. Now, let's criticize the literature. The concept of all these predictions coming true in one person is interesting. The predictions are not for the predictions of an earthquake or an ice age or an age of heat or a government. The predictions are about one human being who is seen to have abilities, unusual abilities. So, it seems that there is no one else in human history that has this extraordinary set of predictions. And then to criticize the literature, well, the New Testament and the Matthew, Mark, Luke, John accounts of Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, that information was written down 50 to 90 years after that fellow was gone. So how could things that were written down 50 to 90 years after somebody was doing their stuff, how could those writings possibly be trustworthy? Punctuation. How could ordinary people write down information from that long ago in a way that's trustworthy? Well, there's a combined question, and it's one that nobody, no person in churchianity, including many famous preachers and famous teachers and people who have caused movements, nobody had presented to me this idea that the supernatural power, the entity who set the predictions in place, what if that supernatural entity can also give perfect accounts to human beings, to chronicle the life and details of that person in a basic and trustworthy way. What if the power, the entity, the spirit, the above human entity who set the predictions in place, what if that person also guided human beings in the basic accounts of the person's life, even with the creative possibility of creating slight aberrations and conflicts in the writings, so that truly curious humans can put together, like a jigsaw puzzle, the parts and pieces reported by different people. Or other people who are declaring that this is all foolishness can say, the Bible contradicts itself, and therefore the Bible is bullshit. It is a curious thing. It is a curious thing. Find the cost of freedom. If you want eternity, sacrifice this life and expect pain, emotional pain, physical pain, isolation pain, and the pain of ignorance, not even knowing what you could have done. Oh my gosh, I was so stupid. I could have done that one thing, and instead I was doing this lesser thing. I could have been caring for forgotten children, which builds an eternal habitation, rather than polishing my toys or collecting other pretty objects or spending time alone feeding my own mind, but not feeding an absolutely clueless mind, especially in those areas that are difficult and stressful and tricky. There is much evil that operates with pleasures and passions and catches people. That's how advertising works. Advertising works by catching people in the things that they consider pleasant and that they are passionately interested in. That passionate interest is caught by an image, and the person's interest is held long enough to draw their mind away from other things that they could be thinking about. Sweetness.